Hey everyone, Mitch and Neil here from Stick Mobility. So today what I want to take you guys through and show you is part of our standing plank series. So I'm going to walk Neil through it. The first thing we're going to do, right now he's got a 5-foot stick. So realistically for most people, we probably can use a 5 or a 6 foot would work best. If you're really short or on the smaller side, maybe a 4 foot. But it's got to be at least somewhere around chest height or higher so we can get him to position. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put him into a horse stance. Okay, so we're gonna get kind of a mid-base horse stance. We're not gonna get real crazy in the width of it, but we could always challenge that. So it is good to challenge a narrow base and a wide base. So we've got him kind of more of a neutral mid stance. So he's set, so we're stacked on top of each other. We're irradiating that tissue already. He takes that stick out at arm's length, and then he angles it back into the body a little bit more. So ideally you would kind of just stick it out in front, there's your length, angle it in, and it's going to be in the perfect position. We want it angled so it's really driving it home, forcing you to stay tall, and we can get a little bit more force created. So here's what we're going to do. Since he has right hand on top, we are going to work to the left first, but the first place is we're always going to start dead center. So right here, what I'm going to have him do is we're going to push at each spot for 5 seconds at, let's say probably 60 to 80% irradiation force. That's going to be plenty for most people. If you're new to this, you've had an injury, weak through the core and the abs, you might want to start less. Once you get really good, we could start cranking up towards that 90 to 100%, but it's going to be a lot of work. So first thing here, we're going to go 5 seconds, hard drive, 60, 80% down through the ground. Now while we're pushing, it should be promoting a tall body. If you could see through the video, shaking. So 2, 1, we relax. We're gonna come to the next part. So we're gonna start to bring in rotation, but we still have a little bit of an anti-rotation mix because this first sequence, we're going to keep the hips steady. We're not gonna allow them to rotate. So now he's gonna come out basically right in front of the left foot. So now he starts to create this angle and some rotation, get into those nice slings through here. So now we push again, and we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, we relax. Now we kick it out a little bit further. So now we want to come out to about the outside of midfoot. Give or take anywhere in that range, depending on your mobility. And now we're going to drive again. Push. 5, 4, 3, look at the angle. 2, 1, good. We're relaxed. Now our last spot, we're really going to challenge rotation. The arms are going to have to bend a little bit, so take it back as far as you can. What we're seeing here is this nice crossing of the body. The other good thing we're really working on, disassociation. So for those rotary athletes, we're teaching you how to create force and absorb force by disassociating the upper body and the lower body. So he pushes, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the toughest position. What it's also doing is it's also increasing our range of motion and our mobility. So we're going to retrace our steps. We're going to go back to that third spot. So about right out here, midfoot, and we're going to push again. This time we're going to go crank it up a little bit higher than he did last time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now back to in front of the foot. And push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We come back to center, and now we're going to switch the hands, and we would go to the other side. So the reason why I retrace back is just to get a little bit more work in there, add for that mobility, that rotation effect, because we do get upwards of 10 to upward towards 15% above and below the position that we're working the isometrics. So we just want to make sure we cover globally our full rotation. So he's going to push again on this side and push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We come out in front of that right foot. So what you guys have noticed too, Neil has maintained his position throughout all of this, staying upright. He is not leaning into the stick to make the force. He is driving down. So we're pushing. We got 5, 4. Look at the shaking occurring because that's the force being produced. And relax. And then now we come outside, 4 foot, midfoot. And push. So big time through the oblique slings working. You're going to see the shaking from the irradiation. We are getting strong bulletproof abs and core. Good. And at the same time, improving our rotational mobility. and we push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We come back to that spot in front there. These, if you are a rotational athlete, these are a must. You have to be able to produce force and absorb force in the full gamut of our rotation. For everybody else, you need it too, because most people cannot rotate. And push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We come back in front of the foot for our last one here. And we push. We go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now I'm going to have him go back to center again. This time I'm going to have him clasp his fingers. You could do this still again on a top and a bottom. You just have to do 2 sets. This will be kind of stage 2, so we lock all that in. So now we're going to take it through active rotation while still keeping the hips still. So he's going to actively push at that 60-80% the whole time, and he's going to give me 5 rotations both directions, just taking it as far as the body will allow him with the stick being in place there. And go. So now everywhere that we worked, now we're going to hit it, so we make sure we don't miss any part of our rotation. We lock it all in. We create global strength. And like I said before, we bulletproof the core and the abs. Again, technique and execution is always most important. Not number of reps or load, it's how we execute a movement. And so if you notice again, Neil has maintained his position throughout the whole thing. Don't worry if you don't, you're going to find your weaknesses. This is also active assessments. It could show where our weaknesses are and where we need to work more. So if you find some weak links, you probably want to work that specific area a little bit more. And there you go. So, a few minutes and you got a lot of work in. So we bulletproofed the abs, the core, we improved our rotation, our ability to absorb force and produce force, and we opened up some thoracic mobility and rotation ability. Until next time, Mitch and Neil, out. Stick mobility, movement made better.